What's up guys, it's Kelly Shalal, registered dietitian behind the blog Hungry Hobby, and I'm here today making my favorite green juice recipe. I have seen a ton of articles, emails, things being promoted that I'm not super down with recently. So can you guess what that is? Stick around and you'll find out. What I've seen recently are some articles coming through my email saying top 10 ways, top 10 supplements to boost your immune system. I'm not saying that supplements aren't effective. I use them in my private practice as a dietitian frequently. I take supplements myself. What I'm not on board with is this kind of like opportunity to fear monger and push a bunch of supplements and make a bunch of sales. Because the fact of the matter is supplements are not gonna be super effective at, like, they're not like a fail-safe. Like, you either are or you aren't gonna get sick. And when it comes to the coronavirus or COVID-19 or whatever you wanna call it, that, you know, people are currently worried about, it supplements vitamin C, elderberry, these things that we know, we think are good for our immune system. They're not necessarily a blockade. And I just don't love preying on people's fears, right? I've not changed my supplement routine at all. I take a multivitamin, a fish oil, vitamin D, and those are the core supplements that I take. And I don't plan on adding a bunch of stuff anytime soon, but what I have added to my diet is more green juice. Since the baby was born, I mentioned this in January when I kind of got back on the green juicing train, you know, just hard to fit in. But adding some green juice to my diet makes me feel really, really good. And it's something I've been doing on and off for 5 or 6 years now. Now there's some pros and cons to green juice, okay? The big con here is that when you juice your vegetables, you're losing all the fiber. Fiber is filling, it's great for the GI tract, it stabilizes blood sugar, it reduces risk of colon cancer. There are a lot of benefits to fiber. That's why you don't want to replace a meal with juice, but you can add juice as a kind of supplement to your diet, because we know that nutrients are best absorbed from food, and this is a food-based way to boost your intake of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals, like all those things that do boost our immune system and fight potential pathogens. So I'm going to do a pros and cons list of green juice, or maybe ways to boost your immunity outside of green juice post to link with this, but for now, let's get to showing you how I've been making my green juice. We've been trying to do it about 2 to 3 times a week. So that's about as much as I can get in. And then the other times we do smoothie box green and we add spinach smoothies. And that's another great way to add nutrients to your diet, and I will link the video on Smoothie Box and the review on Smoothie Box below that you can replace a meal with, because you're still including all the fiber from all the produce that's within those smoothies. So there's that. This is not a fancy juicer, but we got it for our wedding registry probably 5 or 6 years ago. I live in Arizona, so hard water stains are crazy, and this is a hard water stain, but it still works and it's awesome. And you know, their juicers range on all kinds of expensive levels. This is what works for us. It takes me about 3 to 5 minutes to clean. I really couldn't ask for more. So one little trick that I do have, and this is the Breville juice fountain. I will find a link to it or whatever the newest similar model is and add it. But one little trick that I have with this juicer is I actually use the produce bags that I get in the store to put over the chute, and it collects the fiber and the pulp that comes out, and then you reuse the bag and you have less cleanup. So that's my little trick there. So all of these vegetables are organic, and that's just, I always buy organic when I'm like juicing them. I don't know, it kind of skews me out not to. I don't think everything you have to purchase should be organic. Looking at the Dirty Dozen list by the Environmental Working Group is a good way to determine what you should purchase organic and what you shouldn't. Also, if you're going to eat the skin on the food, it's probably more likely that you should purchase it organic. But something like, say, an avocado or a banana that you are not going to eat the skin on, it's probably less likely that you need to purchase those organic. So those are my little tips here. Okay, so I'm going to show you what goes in. Just in case you can't hear me over the juicer, I'm going to tell you really, really fast. So celery, cucumber, and this stuff's been in the fridge kind of a while, so it's a little soft, but that's the great thing about juicing is you can use like vegetables that are wilted a little bit and use them up, and that's great. This is Lancito kale, an apple, some ginger, and then I usually do lemon too, but I forgot it. So there we go. Okay. Turn that on. This out.
Is all the rage right now, but I'm never just gonna drink just like plain celery juice, so that's not gonna happen. But I will put it in combination with other things. I did wash all of this previously, so do wash your produce before you juice it, because that's nasty. In the kale. See, the kale kind of darkens up the juice a little bit. Okay, in between pieces of kale, I'm also going to shove in this piece of ginger. It does better if it's like with other stuff when I juice it. And an apple. Surprise! Got the lemon. That's the beauty of video editing. So I actually peel this lemon because it's not like a normal, and this came off my tree. I literally ran and got it off my tree. Anyways, you have to peel it in this type of juicer because it's not like a citrus juice. So we're gonna stick this in. I can't remember. There we go. I only need 2 glasses. And I'll move this produce drying mat over here so that it can catch the extra. There we go. And the top kind of catches like any foam. So there you go. Probably should have stirred that a little bit first. But you get the idea, and now you know how I make my green juice. I've been making it the same way for years, literally the exact same ingredients for years. You can see it on the blog over and over and over again, and this is our favorite green juice recipe. So remember, add this to your diet. Don't supplement it for a meal, but if you want to really boost your immune system and get the most, like I said, phytonutrients, antioxidants, vitamins and minerals, all those things, do it from food, and this is a great way to just add a bunch more produce to your diet. Anytime you juice, the recipe should be 3 vegetables to 1 fruit or more vegetables. Okay, hope this helps. Hope you guys like this video. Go drink your green juice. And if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that red subscribe button and that little bell notification tab to see if you make sure that you get notifications when I post new videos. I do all kinds of stuff, recipe, nutrition tips, all kinds of stuff. So you don't want to miss that. So make sure that you do that. All right, thanks guys.